Got Your Back Podstream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at mrdirk.com.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday night. Maybe watching a little football, keeping an eye on the NHL standings. Lots going on tonight. And we love a Sunday night pod here at Got Your Back. Looking forward to it. We've got Rob Brown. We've got Jason Strudwick. We've got Chris Sabunia, and even a special guest going to drop by for the Zubie-Wed game tonight. Looking forward to it. Connor McDavid set to make his return to the lineup against the Seattle Kraken on Monday. The Oilers surviving 3 games quite nicely without their captain. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. As always, our show is presented to you by our title sponsor, Play Alberta. Why choose Play Alberta? Well, just ask any hockey fan who loves odds boosts, player props, and same game parlays. For slots players who love the massive jackpots, or lottery players who can grab a last-minute ticket on the go. Deposit today, you'll get a free $50 bet with the code GYB01. Visit playalberta.ca. Coming at you from our Adrenaline Diesel studio. Adrenaline is a Caterpillar-recognized and authorized dealer and repair facility. For expert service for your cat engine, visit adrenalinediesel.ca. I love it when we have full attendance. The entire crew ready to rock and roll. Struds is back in his seat. Struds, it was 8 o'clock. You got up and got out of your chair and left. If people want to know why we're late, Struddy just disappeared at showtime. How you gotta just disappear at showtime?
30 seconds. I was gone for 30 seconds, man. That was pretty quick. Tank was full.
What you were doing.
Tank was full. I didn't think I could hang on for 90 minutes. But if you
it was a quick bathroom break? Oh, there you go.
Quick, I didn't think I could get it. I was like, you hadn't even started yet. There's quite a preamble before I get to show this beautiful.
So we're
face.
starting our broadcast here with you talking about Struds going pee.
Yeah, didn't know that's what it was. Want to restart? Just get this whole re-rack this whole entire thing. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to give you two an opportunity. There you go. Give you two an opportunity to talk a little football. Brownie's got the toque on tonight. You guys know it's not entirely my jam, but I know you three are passionate about it. So Philly and KC, it's set to go after the result tonight. The three of you talk about it for a minute or two.
Well, the KC Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, best ever, going for 3 in a row against one of the New York Giants' best players ever, who happens to play for Philadelphia now because that worked out real well for Struddy's team. But actually, the Chiefs-Bills game, it was an unbelievable football game. And I just feel so sorry for Josh Allen that he has to play and has to go through KC before they can get to the Super Bowl. He was excellent in this game, but it was a fun game. Good day to be a Chiefs fan. Very good day to be a Chiefs fan, Jason.
Yeah, you know what? I would never be that guy. I wouldn't be cheering for a team that I just started cheering for and they got a good quarterback. Like, to me, that's soulless. I've been with the Giants forever, and I'll be there. Like, when I die, just spread my ashes over top of that beautiful facility. And I believe with Saquon Barkley, if you truly love something, you'll set it free. And we set him free, and he's doing great things. So I'm really satisfied. I'm not upset at all about Saquon hopefully winning a Super Bowl over top of that overrated team.
The overrated Chiefs.
And that offense is scary. Well, the tush push, you can't stop. Did you see the highlights of that game with them? The Commanders trying to jump on the they took 3 straight offside penalties because they didn't care. Once you're in that close, they can only move the ball so much closer. Right. They took 3 straight offside penalties, just try to time it out and jump over and hit the line right as they snapped it. But man, it's hard to stop. So I would have never thought Philly even had a shot, but their offense, the offense is really good right now.
It's going to be a great Super Bowl.
I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. Struds, how long is Brownie going to have to fly the flag and cheer before you'll recognize it as legitimate? Like, what kind of timeline is he working on here?
This is what I believe to be true. you can't just start cheering for someone in your mid 60s when they get a good quarterback, right? Like they should be there all the time. I've been with the Giants the whole
Why?
time. The whole time.
Oh, okay. I see what's written there. The toque looks brand new. Well, it is new. We got it for Christmas because the other one was worn out from throwing it so many times from
Oh,
celebrations.
jeez.
Outrageous. Why do I have to have an NFL team forever? I got a good buddy, Clarky, who loves the Lions. He cries a lot. I got a buddy that loves the Packers. He cries a lot. But you know what? I celebrate a lot, Jason. I celebrate. Me, Patty Mahomes, and all the T-Swizzle fans out there. We are happy today.
But when you win it, it's too easy. It doesn't mean anything for you. But when you stick with your team, when the Giants win the championship the next 5 to 10 years, it'll be worth it because I hung in there so long. Like Bills fans, like Packers fans, like that's what makes it special. You're just coming willy-nilly. It's nothing. It's nothing for you. There's no emotional struggle.
I'll probably have 6 Super Bowls before you guys win it.
Yeah, but you've never cheered.
How long is it going to be, Zubie, before Struddy's team? How long is it going to be, Zubie? You're a resident.
They need a quarterback. I mean, they haven't had a quarterback since Eli. That's a gap. That's a pretty good gap here.
They don't have a running back.
Yeah, that's good. That looms large. They got a real nice wide receiver this year this past season in the draft, like a stud, a franchise guy. So, but they're
3.5 years we've been doing this show, and he's just constantly been cheering for them to lose the entire time. Like at some point,
I do. I'm a realist, Shogger. I'm a realist. Like if you're not good, just lose. Winning 7-8 games, that's nothing. It's just a false hope. It's a false hope. It's like when Brownie goes to the gym on January 1st, think he's actually going to make a change for the rest of the year. It's a false hope.
How do you know what it's like? Your team hasn't won 7 or 8 games.
No, we made the playoffs 3 years ago.
They made the playoffs.
Advocating
Daniel Jones' first year, right?
Won a playoff game. Since then, I've been advocating losing, and we did that pretty well, but not good enough this year. Next year, we'll really lose.
Hey, Struddy's team gets a top 5 draft pick. The team I cheer for, the Seahawks, won 10 games and missed the playoffs. So they have to they pick 16th or whatever. So like, what good is that? So commit to the never-ending rebuild, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Super Bowl's always a good time. And Brownie, you gonna buy a jersey or a sweater, or you gonna go full out this year?
I have a Chiefs jersey upstairs too, but it's toque time right now. I'm really sweating. It's really hot in my basement right now with my toque on, but I'm doing it for
the toque decision.
I'm regretting it. I wish my son would have bought me a ball cap now.
Okay, just going to lay out the podcast real quick here, guys. We got lots of great content tonight. Of course, we're going to we'll talk about the Oilers' win over the Buffalo Sabres. Look ahead to Connor McDavid returning to the lineup. Also, we're going to have Brownie stick around for our Take a Lap segment because we got that Mikko Rantanen, Martin Necas trade that we have to break down. Interesting ramifications for the Oilers in the Western Conference as the Avalanche swing a monstrous deal. So we're going to do that. We will have Brownie points. We will have Struddy's World, and then in a special edition of the Zubie-Wed Game, by request of one Jason Strudwick, Mrs. Schauger will be joining us and be the subject of tonight's questions. So Randine, who behind the scenes, as we all know, the listeners might not, she is the brains behind Rev Media and Got Your Back. So she's all of our bosses. So Mrs. Schauger will be sliding in a little bit later on for the Zubie-Wed Game. And then we'll have Ask Us Anything as well. If you got any questions for Mrs. Schauger, you can throw them in the chat. Zubie will grab some of those too if anybody wants to get their shot at questioning my wife. But for now, we got lots to talk about. Lots going on with the Oilers. Let's get to our breakdown brought to you by the Alberta Ram Dealers. The 4x4 winter event is here. Get up to $11,200 in total discounts on a 2024 Ram 1500 DT Bighorn at your Alberta Ram dealer. See your local Ram dealer today for this fantastic vehicle. Beautiful interior. Awesome looking on the outside as well. Take one for a test drive at your Alberta Ram dealer. Okay, gents. We would all agree, not their best effort. And Stu Skinner, Brownie, has a night. And it started slow, but then it got really, really good. How bad were the Oilers versus how good was Stuart Skinner?
Well, it'd be like the alphabet, A to Z. Stuart Skinner was excellent. That might have been his best game of the year. I think the Oilers gave up 37 shots in the final 40 minutes. Might have been their worst defensive effort of the season. In the third period, they got the only goal in the third period, but they got outshot 20-5 or something like that. The Sabres were by far the better team, but Skinner was excellent. And he saved 3 breakaways. There was a couple 2-on-1s. There were some 3-on-1s, a number of shots from the slot. That was as good as Stuart Skinner's played all season long. And Struds, to me, this is a game. We don't see a lot of them. They don't have to a lot. This was a game that the goaltending of the Edmonton Oilers stole a game.
Yeah, you need that sometimes. You can't always be perfect as a player, and God knows we try. But I love what you said there. I'm just going to kind of put it into English for you, Brownie. The quality of the shots to me was. I'm on fire today, boys. I'm on fire. The quality.
I don't want you anywhere near my wife today. She might never talk to you again. You're just ripping left, right, and center.
I'm feeling good. I'm honestly feeling really good.
Oh, great.
I know I haven't been
Awesome.
drinking. I'm just,
Neat.
Yeah. Where was that? Yeah. So just the quality of the shots. I think, sometimes you give a bunch of chances, but it was the quality of chances and not second chance. It was like those breakaways, those shots from the slot, like some really, really good opportunities for them to score. And he was there and he made the save solid. So you need that. Like you need your goalie sometimes to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And he did that for them for 40 minutes, which was proved to be just enough for them to get to 2 points and walk out of there.
Well, it's Schauger. Looking at it, the Oilers won 2 of 3 without Connor. And that's what they should have won. They were the better team in Washington and lost, and they were the second best team against Buffalo and won. So in reality, 2 out of 3 is probably what they deserved.
Yeah. Stu Skinner in the Weiss Johnson Soundbox. Let's get to it. Brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Weiss Johnson's offering 10% off any new furnace installed before March 1st if you need to replace your furnace because it stopped working or if it's just getting old and unreliable, like Schauger's attempts at being funny. Okay. So Dennis has sent a bunch of rips, and Randy asked each of us to send in some burns on each other to add to the Weiss. So these are cold. I have not read these ahead of time. If your furnace is getting old and unreliable, like Schauger's attempts at being funny, and you want a new, better model that's more efficient, mention you heard it on Got Your Back podcast when you book your estimate, and you will receive 10% off your new furnace price. Visit weiss-johnson.com today. Jingle, I guess. Just tempted not to run the jingle today, Dennis. You almost cost yourself the jingle today. Stu Skinner.
Worth something to be in first.
Oh, Stu Skinner, by the way, on them being in first place for a brief amount of time.
Worth something to be in first place for a while.
I mean, it's always that's the goal, right? It's huge to get first place. Just like what you said, we still got a lot of hockey to be played, and I think that's how it goes. We have such a tight division that it's anyone's game. Like the points are so close, right? So I think for us, the mindset's got to be. Obviously, it's great to be in first place, but let's try to get some more points here. Keep playing the same way that we've been playing, and hopefully we can, run with it a bit.
Head coach.
Multiple big saves from the slot end of the game. When it was 2-1 them, a couple breakaways that he stopped. Yeah, I can go through like multiple big saves that he made.
Okay, some love coming in on the stream. I have to apologize for the blasphemy against the jingle. Michael Cook says jingle. Ronnie Oceanfront says, gosh darn, do I love Weiss Johnson. Never joke about the jingle. What a song, says Raymond Gonzalez. We can't joke about no jingle, says Michael Cook. Always with the jingle. There's comedy and then there's crossing a line, says Michael Cook. Thoroughly put in my place on that one.
Agreed.
Yeah. So where else you guys want to go with this game? Because Skinner is obviously the headline. The Oilers pick up a win. They end up getting 2 out of 3 without Connor McDavid. But were there some individual performances? Like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins ends up with a couple. Brownie Skinner was kind of in and around it a little bit. What did you thought it was an up and down night or a down and up night for Jeff Skinner?
Yeah, let's start with RNH. I thought was good. And RNH, who had a slow start offensively to the season, has been much better as of late. And the scoring stats are starting to show up. But to me, one of the reasons Jeff Skinner doesn't get to play with consistency, we saw it in the very first shift of the game. It was they started him against his old team. That's a great thing by the coaching staff. It's a 3-on-3 and Skinner goes right back and goes right to Darnell Nurse's guy. And all of a sudden, he passes it by them, 2-on-1 backdoor, and Skinner had to make a fantastic save on Tage Thompson. But that was a defensive misread by Jeff Skinner. And I texted you guys right away. I said, that right there is why they don't have the trust in him. And later in the third period, I think it was, same thing. Or the second period, same thing. He loses man defensively. Scored a goal, great. And he can score in this league. But he's just miscast as a bottom six guy because, as Struds knows, if you're in the bottom six, you do not make defensive blunders. They don't care if you score. Do not make defensive blunders. And that's why he doesn't have the trust of the coaching staff, because he's prone to the big mistake.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And just touch on RNH. Like I believe he's getting more inside the dots and shooting from more inside the dots. And I know that's really very basic, Brownie, but I didn't really score a lot, but I know I wasn't scoring from outside the dots. So you got to get inside the dots and even inside the hash marks, even better. And last night for sure he found that those spots.
Well, the goal that he came in that were sitting in the rebound, sitting in the blue paint. He found the blue paint. He went there. He stopped in front. But you're right. In the National Hockey League now, there's a few players in the NHL that can score from distance. Most can. Goalies are too good and too big. So RNH he's doing what he needs to do. But we didn't talk about it the other night because we didn't have our podcast. I don't know how Lindy Ruff doesn't challenge that goal by Nugent Hopkins. Corey Perry went through the net. That goalie's arm was completely pinned against the post. Now, they may have talked about whether or not he was pushed in or held there, but the goalie could not move. His arm was completely pinned. And if I'm Lindy Ruff, I challenge it 100 times out of 100. No Connor McDavid on the other team's power play. I thought that was a missed opportunity. They looked at it and decided not to.
Yeah, that's a good point. Struds, you would think that a risky challenge is less risky without 97 coming over the boards if you get it wrong.
I like that. I mean, it was clearly the one that was kicked in by Buffalo. Like that was an easy one. This one, I'm not so sure, Brownie. I think it was Benson that was pushing Perry. Like, I don't believe that Benson gave Perry a way out of there. So and Perry's not going to leave.
Perry wasn't leaving.
No, I know, but like if there's nowhere to go, like it wasn't like he was fighting to get out, but Benson didn't give him a path. Like, it wasn't pulling him off there. So I think that might have been some of the thought process.
It's worth the risk against it. I mean, you're the last place team in the National Hockey League. To me, it show your team you got some trust that if you get it wrong, you're going to be able to kill the penalty. But here, I believe in you guys. I believe in our goaltender, and I believe we were fouled. To me, Lindy Ruff, that was an opportunity for him to stand up for his team, and he didn't.
Aaron St. Pierre, siding with Struddy, says, nope, that play you could not challenge Brownie is wrong here. He also got pushed in. That's what Aaron St. Pierre is saying, and Jim saying Perry is a beaut. You disagree, Brownie?
He didn't get pushed in. He skated in. Then the guy was there and was holding him towards there. But Perry skated right through there on purpose. And that's what Perry does, and he's very good at it.
Okay, so big picture here. Oilers, we don't have a final yet. We'll get to a scoreboard a little bit later on. Do we have a final in that?
2-1 Vegas right now in the third period.
2-1. So the Oilers, as the time of this taping and this topic, the Oilers at the top of the Pacific Division, they've won 10 of 13. They've given up more than 3 goals just once in that time. Their penalty kill is 6 for 6 the last 3 games during that McDavid suspension. Leading the Pacific Division here, Struds, basically the best team in the league for the last few months. Oh, and by the way, their power play hasn't really heated up to the level that most people expect it to be at. Like, big picture here, man. The Oilers, they've won 4 of 6, I believe, with McDavid out of the lineup this year. Pretty well-rounded. This group is just humming right now, Struddy.
Yeah, there are, or they are, I should say. And there's a lot of things. And I think that people that, like we've talked about Ty Emerson, how he's, helping the group. Puck holds and how he's helping the group. Arvidsson seems to be healthy now, which helps. Elite play by Leon. I think, I still think that Zach Hyman and Nuge probably have another gear offensively. I know that they've been kind of scoring, but I think that based on what we've seen in the past from those guys, I think there's another level of offense from them. And even some of the others, Henrique or Janmark, Brown is cooled off a bit. So, and that's not to say they're playing bad, but I think there's still a level for those guys to reach. If and when required, they can do it.
Well, I think right now this is the most complete Oiler team that we've seen in a long time. I mean, last year, the trade deadline they need this, they need that, they need to fill up this spot right here. They need a defenseman. Right now, this is as complete an Oiler team as we've seen. And we know that they can get better because Hyman and, as you said, RNH, they do have another level to get to. Bouchard has had a very pedestrian season. He can be better. So this is a team that right now I don't see a whole lot of weaknesses in. And there are players that are star players on this team that do have another level to get to. So yeah, I've said it before. I believe the Oilers are the best team in the National Hockey League right now. Doesn't guarantee them anything. And there's not a team out there that I believe is capable of winning a 7-game series if the Oilers play the way they're capable of playing.
Aaron St. Pierre chiming in again that says, I agree with Brownie here. So the two of you definitely seeing eye to eye on where the team is right now. Zubie, let's get to our poll because it's a little bit relevant to the conversation of Connor McDavid coming back. Our YouTube poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Are you fired up for the upcoming golf season? I know I am. New 2025 equipment from TaylorMade Ping Callaway are arriving at DeBoer's. Get ahead of the fitting rush. Schedule your appointment today, located at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. It's a pretty cool experience to go get new clubs from them. You get into the fitting bay. They test you out for the, types of shafts, give you an opportunity to hit a bunch of different types. Scotty and TJ and Al, they take great care of you. So go see the crew over at DeBoer's. With McDavid coming back in, Zubie, that brings us to our poll.
Yeah, so the question is posed this way. Who should come out of the lineup for Connor McDavid? So we're asking the folks on the stream here who they would take out. And the options are Jeff Skinner, Noah Philp, I almost called him Sammy, Kasperi Kapanen, or other, and folks can write in and tell us who they would be taken out of the lineup to. I guess they'll fit that. I guess they'll fit Connor back in somehow. They'll find a way.
One guess who Brownie's going to say. One guess who Brownie's got on his list.
It's Jeff Skinner's going to be pulled out. Yeah. I mean, you don't have Noah Philp up here to see if he can play and then put him in the press box. They know what Skinner's capable of doing, and to me, it's a simple one. Although they won a game. You can't change a lineup after you win a game, though. So
Connor's just going to have to wait.
Yeah,
hey? Struds,
who
same thing for you, Struds?
Yeah.
Skinner?
Yeah. And I've been advocating for Jeff Skinner for months, and I'm running out of time and energy to advocate for this guy.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got? Oh, let's grab our relentless player, Struds. We're going to cut the breakdown a little bit short today because we got so much other stuff to get to, but we do want to squeeze in our relentless player, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services. 6 unforgettable nights of laughter and heart at the annual Comedy Nights fundraiser this March. Promises delicious food, great entertainment, a sense of community supporting an incredible cause. Every ticket sold helps provide mental health support, job training, and mentorship to young people in need. Don't wait. Grab your tickets now at ucan.ca and mention Got Your Back for 10% off. We have been the last number of years. It's a fabulous event. It's a fabulous organization, and maybe we will see you there. Struddy, what do you got for Relentless Player tonight?
Yeah, we'll get into the details of this trade in the follow, but I want to give Marty Netcash some love. He's played 2 games already for Colorado. Tough spot to drop in, and he helped his team win with 2 assists tonight. So anyone who goes into that shitstorm when you've been traded for that guy, I mean, it's Jimmy Carson for Wayne Gretzky, almost.
Yeah,
you're right. Talk about pressure, and we'll talk about it. I guess we're going to talk about this trade a little bit, but that is pressure. Renton's top 7 forward in the world, and this kid's having his first ever career year, and now you're going to have to go and fill the shoes of a fantastic player who was quite popular and was surprised when he got traded.
I know. Okay, we're actually going to dig into that next on the show. We're going to take a lap. We're going to talk about that. And then did you hear the news about the Vegas Golden Knights and Alex Pietrangelo in the Four Nations? He is pulling out. So we'll dive into those two coming up and take a lap. And then we got Brownie Points and Struddy's World as well. And then the Zubie-Wed Game with Mrs. Shog. Stay with us. Lots still ahead here on Got Your Back.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Thinking of that dream vacation? A quick winter escape? Well, flight delays are dreadful. Hospital visits, not fun. Alberta Blue Cross gives you coverage for emergency medical care cancellations, and lost baggage. Flexibility, reliability, even lounge access or a hotel if the delay is too much. Plus 24/7 travel support ensures you're never left out in the cold. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel to learn more.
It says you got yourself muted here, Shaggy. But you're not. Okay, hold on. Are we taking a lap? Why does it... It says you have yourself muted, Shagger. Is that possible?
Well, Jason, now that we can't hear Shogger, what would you like to talk about?
Yeah, maybe Randine's available.
Okay, hang on for a sec, Shaggy.
You ever been to the Munder Arena, Brownie?
I have not. I bet you it's cold. Is it?
It's cold, man. But we were out there with one of my sons for 4 games, and we had some pierogies at Mama's Bistro. It was so good. Pierogies and sausage. I don't know if anyone's ever driving through there. I thought it was fantastic. I love those old arenas in smaller towns, you know, like just gritty, cold, for sure cold, but
the smells and then they and always has the best food too. Like the little snack bars have the best French fries or hot dogs. Yeah.
Hey,
Struds. Candy.
Struds, you got your script nearby? Do you want to set up taking a lap with Akon?
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
We'll try to get Shagger back in here.
Okay. All right, let's time to take a lap, guys. We're taking a lap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where is it now? Taking a lap. Taking a lap with Akon. If you're a skilled tradesperson or construction professional looking for work in Western Canada, Akon wants to hear from you. One of Canada's original industrial contractors, they are building some of the largest multi-year industrial projects in Western Canada, and you can be part of it. They're looking for skilled tradespeople and construction professionals to join the Akon team. Start building what matters today. Join Akon now by sending your resume to trades@akon.com. You got your Shaggy?
I don't know.
There he
you
is.
guys got me?
I got you. Yeah, gotcha.
We're having some technical issues on my end, Zubie. So do you have my video? Because I can't see any of you guys at all.
Yeah.
We can see and hear you.
We see you, buddy.
You guys got me? Okay, no problem. Okay, guys, let's dig into this trade. Sorry, folks, for the technical issues here on the live stream. Not sure what's going on. Let's talk about this trade, you guys. This was a whopper. This was like a once every, decade or two top forward on the planet, in the conversation for top 5-6 forwards. Brownie says 7. And boom, prime of his career, Stanley Cup champion. It's like a where were you when type thing. This was a monster, Struds. What immediately hit you when this happened?
Well, I didn't believe him at first, right? I came off the ice from coaching and someone's, this is what happened. I'm like, there's no way. And then my first reaction was I'd love to have seen Nathan McKinnon's face when he got word that this stud of a player is gone. I was blown away, absolutely blown away. And can you imagine how he feels? His running mate's gone. My son put it in a pretty good perspective. Like, there's nothing wrong with Marty Necas. He's a good NHL player. But it'd be like the Oilers trading to Dallas for Jason Robertson. Good player, but he's not Leon Draisaitl, right? And that's the challenge that you're trying to figure out. Why? Why would you do this? Now, there's talk that they couldn't agree to a deal, or they were a long ways apart. But it sounded like Rantanen kind of dismissed those ideas, right? So, and then even McKinnon said he'd be okay with Rantanen getting more money. You don't get elite players very often in your franchise. And when you have one, I don't believe you trade it away. So what's the next shoe Brownie to drop? Because they're not better today than they were, I guess, Thursday night.
No, Carolina's a better hockey club today. The Colorado Avalanche aren't. What I was shocked was when I heard both Rantanen and McKinnon talk that night and the next day, both were surprised. I would have thought that before Rantanen was traded, there would have been, okay, here's what's going to happen. We have to come up with a deal, or we're going to trade you. And with McKinnon, it would have been a conversation with McKinnon. Okay, here's the deal. If we keep Rantanen, we lose him in the offseason because he doesn't sign, we're not as good. but we're thinking of trading him. Like, I honestly can't think that would be like the Oilers trading Leon Draisaitl without talking to Connor about it. I just can't see that being possible. So I don't know. Colorado's got to do something else. They are not as good a team today. And I know that they got these two other players, but Rantanen, I mean, he's all world. In the last, 5 years that top 4 point getters in the National Hockey League are Connor, Leon, McKinnon, and Rantanen? He's that good. So absolutely. And it's not like it's a bad team. That's the hard thing. It's not a bad team getting rid of a star player because he's a UFA. This is a guy that's won the Stanley Cup with them. So yeah, I was shocked, absolutely shocked that they traded a player like that. As you said, Struds, you got that falls into your lap as a draft pick, and you've got him. You think we want him forever, and now Rantanen's on the move, and the Colorado Avalanche have to do something else because they are not as good today, Schauger, as they were a couple days ago.
Okay, to the Luis Johnson soundbox. A lot of people feeling like this money related in the sense that, well, you can't possibly pay someone more than Nathan McKinnon, right? I never bought that. It's just not practical. Guys are due at different times, and Nathan McKinnon clearly understands that as well.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I was making for a long time. I don't know if I was top 5 on the team, so I don't like. If anyone who really knows me knows I really don't care about money. It's the last thing on my mind, and if whoever's up, I mean, if Kale's up, who knows, he could 20. So it's like, it is what it is. You have to talk to Joe and C-Mac. I mean, I think I want guys to get paid. I think he's earned it. Mikko's earned a big payday. He's scoring 50, 100 points every season. So, like I said, I don't know exactly what happened. I'll have to talk to Chris and Joe and Mikko, and I'm sure there's lots of sides to every story, but I just know I'm going to miss him, and he's such a great person. So it's gonna be tough.
Do teams need to be talking to their stars? Like Struds, was it a bogey not to talk to Nathan McKinnon about this and let him see it coming? Or do you got to just do the tough thing sometimes? And business is business. I mean, those guys are the general manager and they oversee things for a reason.
Joe Sakic is one of the greatest players ever. So, and he played with a bunch of stars, on his teams in Colorado. So he knows how to deal with stars. He was one. He has 2 or 3, I guess. 2 now, I guess. I have to believe this is a bigger part of something else. They're not just dumping him to try not to, have to worry about that contract or because they don't want to worry about it. I just truly have to believe that. And I think Marty has more upside offensively, especially playing with McKinnon. But Brownie, I just have to believe there's something more here. And that's maybe why they didn't talk to the guy. So this is step 1 of maybe 3 steps.
It has to be, because I always felt that the Oilers, as we said, I think they're the best team in the National Hockey League right now. But if there's one team that can match them for star power, it was always Colorado. They got their 3 stars, and they went and got a new goaltender. And so there's a team that could actually match the offensive outburst that the Oilers could have, and now they don't. So I'm like, if they don't make another deal, if this is what they're going to be going into the playoffs with, they are certainly not as scary a team as they were 3 days ago. And Schauger, to answer the question you asked Struds, I do believe you should talk to your franchise players if you're going to make some kind of move like this. I mean, this is franchise changing type of trade. So I would think here in Edmonton they would talk to Connor and Leon about things like this. So I was shocked that they didn't talk to McKinnon about it in Colorado.
Let me throw a name out. JT Miller, guys. Yep. JT Miller.
That's the name I thought too.
As soon as I saw this trade, I thought JT Miller. Second line center. Now you have 2 studs. And not that Mikko wasn't a stud, but a different look. And that money's very locked in.
But the thing is, you're going to have to give up a lot to get JT Miller though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they are not as deep a team, Colorado. I mean, they're top heavy. So I don't know. I think JT Miller would fit in anywhere. He's that good a hockey player, and he's a playoff type hockey player.
I wonder if Joe Sakic, when he played, if he was the type of player that cared about being brought in the loop by management. If he was a guy that wanted to know, similar ilk and presence in the game here. And maybe it was just never something he was interested in being involved in. I don't know the way they've handled it over the years with Nathan McKinnon. I think it's probably different in different cities with different players. But
I don't think I don't think in our era they didn't talk to us. It's different now. There's more communication between coaches and players, GMs and players. We were told, okay, here's what you do, and then you do it. So I think it's completely different because I'm the exact same age as Joe. So we played in the same era. Now, no GM ever talked to me ever, so it was different for me or Joe, but I don't think it was there's as much communication as there is now. So maybe that's why I don't know, but it is odd.
Yeah, for sure.
Fascinating. Couple people were
Yep.
asking about the Chicago end of the trade and what you guys thought about their, let's call it a return of the third for Hall going out and taking half of Rantanen's contract.
Yeah, there was some criticism there for sure. Over at Puckpedia, they got a nice tool that sort of lets you quantify the value of cap space and draft picks and such. General consensus seems to be they didn't get enough for, the retention and the help that, the way they pitched in here. I tend not to be quite as critical. What do you think, Struds?
I don't understand. I believe they could have got a third rounder with half retained for Taylor Hall. Instead, they had to take on 1.6 more million. And I know that's not all the same, but you know what I mean. It essentially cost them more for the third rounder. So
Isn't it a few years ago? Sorry, Struds.
No, so
on.
Brown, it doesn't like. I think someone would have taken him for $3 million for the rest of the year. I believe that. So they got rid of all of Hall's $6 million, but they had to take on 4.6 at Mikko's, which I'm sorry, I don't really understand. I would have just kept the 3 for Taylor Hall. I don't really get it.
Wasn't it first rounders a few years ago? Like that wasn't Patrick Marleau? Wasn't it first rounders? It was for to retain salary.
He was 5, I think. Yeah, they got rid of $5 million, I believe.
And it was a first round draft pick, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's my recollection of that.
Yeah.
So, Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens and whether or not Carolina can retain him. I mean, they're already talking about, Telski's already talking about he wants to give him some time to make sure he likes it there, but then start digging in on a long-term deal. And it'll be interesting to see if that's something that can get done. Okay, the other news of the day today, guys, Alex Pietrangelo, word out of Vegas that he is backing away from the Four Nations to recover from an ailment. I do not believe that this means Evan Bouchard will get tapped. I don't think there's been, had he had like a mass improvement since the team was named? I think maybe you'd put him in that conversation. He's been fine, but hasn't gotten back to the level he was at before here. So what do you make of this, Struds? Probably, quite frankly, good for Vegas that their guy's going to get rest.
Yeah, I think so. And he's more of, he's not just a pure power play guy, right? He kind of does everything. So I think they'll be looking for a kind of Johnny does everything. And the guy that, as soon as I saw it, I thought of Drew Doughty. Is Drew Doughty, where's he at on his return? It feels like we're running out of time here, but that's the guy that I thought of right away, Brownie.
Well, actually, Drew Doughty's on the road trip right now with the LA Kings. So he's now traveling with the team. So he's got to be close. Actually, the first person I thought of was Darnell Nurse. I think there would be a better chance of Nurse getting picked by Team Canada than there would be for Evan Bouchard. Just what Pietrangelo kind of defenseman he is, more similar to a Darnell Nurse than a Bouchard is.
I like that.
It's funny, Pietrangelo is playing tonight, so this is not an ailment that's keeping him out of hockey games, but it's going to let him rest. But it goes back to what Struds talked about a long time ago when this first came out. If this was the Olympics, Pietrangelo would not be staying home to rest an ailment. This is an exhibition hockey tournament that they all want to be part of, but the importance of it is lesser than the Olympics, where he would have played through injury to go to that.
Yeah. Maybe Mackenzie Weegar potentially gets the tap.
Yep.
Tanev's name getting some love out there too. We'll see which way Team Canada ends up going. All right, that was Taking a Lap, brought to you by our good friends over at Acon. Going to go to break here. Zubie, when we go to break, I'm going to try and dump out of this and come back in so that we'll see if that'll fix my video. So Struds, if I'm not back and ready to rock and roll yet, let's go Brownie points and then Struddy's World in the next segment. Hopefully I'll be there to join you guys, but we'll get this technical stuff sorted out. In the meantime, this has Got Your Back presented by Play Alberta.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
At HSE Core, we are dedicated to providing unparalleled safety compliance services to small and medium-sized businesses through our monthly health and safety program management, including managing contractor screening registries and core auditing services. Let HSE Core Services help you maintain a safe workplace for you and your valued employees. Visit us at hsecore.com.
Astronauts, good enough for you. For the month of January, free shipping Alberta-wide on all orders over $55. Hop on to albertajerky.com to order yours and enter code GOTYOURBACK, and that will get you an additional 10% off. Brownie, your KC Chiefs themed brownie points, friend.
Go Chiefs. First, I'm going to go with 42 brownie points to Canadian downhill skier James Crawford, the first Canadian in 42 years to win at Kitzbühel. Same race, another Canadian, Cameron Alexander, came in third place. So the Canadians are doing quite well in skiing this year. I got 96 brownie points to Carolina Hurricane GM Eric Tulsky. He made the biggest splash. He made it early in well before the trade deadline. He landed the best player available. They are a better team today. If he can somehow sign Mikko Rantanen, then all of a sudden it becomes a grand slam home run move by the GM in Carolina. I got 55 brownie points to my buddy Big Marps. He's the biggest Philly fan ever. He loves the Flyers. He loves the 76ers. He loves the Phillies, and he's a huge Eagles fan. His team put up 55 tonight, and they will be playing 2 weeks from now and losing against my Kansas City Chiefs. But Marps, that was for you. I got one big brownie point to Jack Drury. He was the dreaded afterthought of a trade with all these superstars. I mean, they got the two big guys going back and forth. There's a former Hart winner, number 1 pick overall in Taylor Hall. Nobody cared about Jack Drury. No one's ever looked him up. But he scored. He's the first guy in this trade to score a goal. He scored a goal today, the first with the Colorado Avalanche. I met Jack Drury when he was 10 months old. Played with his dad, Teddy, in Chicago, and he used to come in the dressing room. So good for Jack Drury.
Wow.
The afterthought. The afterthought, scoring a goal. And finally, the big one, three brownie points to all the KC Chief and T-Swizzle fans out there. We are 2 weeks away from a three-peat. Go Chiefs, go.
Struds?
Yeah. Brownie's been a Chiefs fan about as long as Taylor Swift has.
No, that's not true. She dated Travis only for like 27 months now and 13 days. They met on a Saturday night. It was a wonderful time. And I'm a T-Swizzle fan too.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Shameless.
Here we
Love
go.
it. Brownie points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. All right, the Zubie-Wed game is coming up, but first, Struddy's got something that he wants to say. So, Zubie, go ahead and roll the animation.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy. Gotta look good.
Shugger, we're losing your audio again, pal. I don't know what's going on.
I got you.
There
that
we
was
go.
me. Brought to you by Timber House is Struddy's World. If you're tired of those dull cookie cutter houses, Timber House is looking to shake things up. Their design harnesses the power of natural light to brighten your days and lift your spirits, because life is too short for ordinary homes and dull living. Let them build you a place where laughter and good times are part of the blueprint. Visit timberhouse.ca. Struddy.
You know, Sabres, they're quite a talented team. They have quite a bit of offense when you look at their backhand and their forwards. But I've watched them before, and I feel at times their detail to defense just isn't there. And it couldn't have set up better for the third goal against it. Newlywed scored last night. If you didn't see it, the puck kind of works its way around from the left of the net, Meyer, around the perimeter, up the blue line, down to Darnell Nurse, and Darnell just kind of takes it down, let's say around the hash mark. Nugent Hopkins kind of did like a high roll. He was up, maybe above the top of the circles on the opposite side. And JJ, don't call me John Peterka, was near him, around him. I would call him, that was Nugent's guy. Nuge just dive bombs from that area down towards the net, gets a laser beam from Darnell and just roofs it up top. But if you look at the effort of John Peterka, he makes Schwede look like a Selke NHL award winner. He is reaching and leaning forward. His knees don't even bend, doesn't even pretend to bend his knees. He just leans forward and reaches the stick. Oh, I didn't get it, and taps it in. And I think for the Sabres, I would just show that clip. And Peterka's a good youngish player, talented, scored 30 goals last year. But that is it. That is the game, because they were rolling. They were playing well. I don't know that the Oilers even had a much better chance than that in the third period, or other chances that are that good. But the one, he didn't even try to get back. And if you go back and look, guys, bent over at the waist, reaching, Schwede-like for John Jay. Don't call me John Peterka.
It's funny, Struds, on that one too. And then he knew he was beat, because all of a sudden he looked, he's like, oh, but there was no, you know what it's like when, oh my God, that's my guy. Like, you are usually like, I'm going to do everything possible to fix this. And then afterwards, there was no, like, not hanging the head or slamming the stick. It just, it happens. But you're right. The thing that the Buffalo Sabres lacked, attention to detail and commitment to detail defensively. They just continued to turn the puck over time and time and time again.
Yeah.
They do have a ton of skill on the back end and up front. They created a bunch of chances, but that was a great example of why they are not a good hockey club, is in big moments, they just make bonehead plays. And that was a bonehead play by JJ Peterka. How do you say his name?
Peterka. JJ Peterka.
Jacob?
What'd you guys think of Ryan McLeod?
He looked fine.
Yeah.
Although there was one time, Shogger, I started giggling thinking of you, because he came down full speed down the boards and then cut to the middle and looked to make a pass. And I'm like, didn't think of driving wide. Still hasn't got that in his game plan. He was fine, but yeah, no. He's having a pretty good season though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Struts, what'd you make of it?
I worry with around that environment where no one really hammers down, you lose some of the good habits he had here with the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the risk, because they should have, like, honestly, we said it, Brownie, they should have won that game last night. The Sabres should have won that game. They deserved to win that game, but they didn't. And a veteran team found, or a more mature team as far as, playing ways, found a way to get it done.
Okay, I want to ask you guys a question. I was really disappointed in Owen Power. I was expecting way more from Owen Power. Number 1 pick overall, the expectations of him being a star. To me, he made a lot of silly mistakes, overplaying the puck, and frankly looked slow out there.
Yeah, so he's going to be the subject of my core blue liners today. But I would agree that
we're not doing that today, Struts.
Oh,
we'll do that
okay.
next show.
Okay, so then I'll drive in. He didn't have a good game last night. I remember the first time I saw him play for the World Juniors, he looked amazing, and he was so good all over the place. But I wonder that with Rasmus Dahlin getting a lot of the power play time, does that affect him? Does he get his power through playing on the power play, right? And he's not there. So then you have Bowen Byram, who I believe also thinks he's probably a power play guy. So you have, there's a bit of a lineup at the toilet for the power play time, Brownie.
You're right. Bowen Byram, he doesn't get power play time there. And that's what his specialty would be. They've got 3 guys that are kind of redundant because they're all the exact same defensemen in different size forms.
Yeah.
Paulie says Buffalo has rushed Power. Machine Gun Yanmark says Owen Power is treading water. It's not been good. Yeah, I have to say he was pretty underwhelming. I think he's going to be okay. Like the skill set, the frame, he's going to be okay. But some tough early years in an organization, Struds, to be a high pick and come in an organization that isn't really competitive. Yeah, there's going to be some bumps along the way. There's going to be some tough stuff. The talent will eventually shine through, but it's definitely he's getting a little tripped up here.
He is, and it's unfortunate because he is a real stud, absolute stud. But they got to make sure they have a lot of talented players there, and everyone wants the puck. It's. I think Lindy's got his hands full.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber Hoss Developments. All right. Quick commercial break. When we come back, our second installment this season of the Zubie-Wed Game. Mrs. Schauger, Randine, ready to jump in here and face the fire. She'll take a bunch of questions. You guys were tasked with figuring out what her answers might be. That, lots more show still ahead. Stick around.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolanddentistry.com.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
All right, time now for takeaways brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. There's no better investment for an acreage owner than a John Deere compact utility tractor. Transform your property, start with a tractor, and then tackle all the jobs around with easy-to-use attachments like a tiller, mower, blades, snow blower, and more. Visit Horizon Ag and Turf at their 13 Alberta locations. They are your local John Deere dealer.
We got too much Schauger and not enough Mr. Schauger.
Don't. She's gonna. Don't give it away, and she's going to be in the next shot.
Oh, she's in the next shot. Well,
Yeah.
Zubie, aren't you just rolling the Zubie-Wed theme music, buddy? Let's do it.
I thought you were going to tee it up. All right, let's do it.
No, this is your show. You take over now. It's your show now.
I'm taking over. It's time for episode 5 or season 2, episode 2, whatever you want to call it, of the Zubie-Wed Game. Here, we're going to have a whole other exciting shot here that features, look at this. There she is.
Oh, I like it.
The lovely
Still
Mrs.
too much
Rishaug.
Sorry,
sorry, Brownie.
That was a creepy start.
Still too much
Struds.
Schauger in the picture.
But I said I like it. Oh, it's nice to see couples on the show, right?
All right.
It is nice. Happy couples. So here we go. The quick rundown is, of course, we've got 9 questions tonight. We've expanded the show. We've got 9 questions tonight we're going to ask to Randy. Now, this is a little bit different than what we normally do because Schauger's got inside information. Maybe not fair information in answering this as an actual Newlywed Game and not the Zubie-Wed Game. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pose the question to Randy, and Schauger's going to take a stab at it before she gives her proper answer. Then Randine's going to give us her answer. Then we're going to go to Brownie and Struddy, and that part of the game is being scored. A point for a correct answer, no points for getting it wrong, and we'll see who can come out on top of this 9-leg decathlon here, one leg down of a decathlon. So that's the game. Brownie and Struddy have written down what they predicted Randine's going to say to these questions. So let's get into it. Here we go. Question number 1 for Randine. What's the one thing Ryan uses his back pain /instability as an excuse to get out of doing?
It's not instability. There's no lack of stability happening in the back. It's just back pain.
Oh, it's just pain?
Okay. I would say Randine is going to say dishes. I will say dishes will be your answer.
Well,
Brownie?
I mean, he said I can only pick one, so that's tough. That's tough. Am I revealing now, or are we
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah,
the
you go,
guys?
Randine. What's the what's the
first.
answer?
Okay, I wrote them down.
Walking the
Walking
dog.
the dog.
Oh, yeah, that-
Okay.
that definitely happens.
Let's go to what the fellas predicted here. Let's go to Struddy
Neglecting
first. What do you
Harlow.
got, Struds?
Yeah, I've got yard work.
Good guess though.
See,
That is a
I
good
had
one.
3 in my mind. I had one, bedroom time. That was my first thought, but I think there's a family show, so I can't say that. Then I thought walking the dog, but then I decided to go with.
Oh, you're,
How do you make it?
You'll
so
have
you
to
can
tell
see
us because it's
Okay.
We believe you.
Oh, I said walking the dog. Then no, I said dishes.
Dishes.
Oh,
you
you
thought
guys
something I
matched.
thought.
You guys
All right.
matched. Okay, here's a good
I don't
one.
think he gets any points for that. So no points.
No points on the board. All right, question
keep it
number
rolling.
2. Randine, if you could take one attribute of Struddy and give it to Ryan, what would it be?
Oh, he's gonna love this one.
This is getting awkward.
One attribute from Struddy to give to me.
Don't say hair. Don't say hair, Randy.
That's what I was
No,
thinking.
no. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say the extra 2 inches. Height.
Whoa.
Height.
Jeez. Jeez. Wow.
Thanks, Zubie.
Jeez.
I get Brownie. I knew that would get Brownie.
Get the back of the
I
guy.
knew that would get Brownie.
All right, Randine, what's your actual answer here? Oh, the sense of humor.
Ooh.
All right. Well, we're gonna have Struddy go last here, Brownie. What did you say?
That's awkward.
That
said
was
humor.
awkward.
I don't know if you can see it. I said
Sense of
humor.
Humor?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it. I wrote the way he wears his jeans.
Oh, God.
So,
Skinny
No,
jeans.
I can't do that.
The way he wears his jeans.
Oh, crap. Ella Thompson. Ella's on the stream.
Oh, yes.
She just reminded us your daughter is watching. Sorry, Ella. Sorry, Ella Beans. That was my bad there. Oh, Brownie
all
turned
right.
the lights out. All right.
Here's one that I understand is going to hit close to home. Is going to be a very difficult Sophie's Choice type of question. Question number 3.
Okay.
Randine, who is your favorite Oiler of all time? Kelly Bookberger or Leon Draisaitl? And you can't cop out. You have to name one.
Well, it's actually easy.
I think she's going to go Bucky. I think. Bucky is the original. That was the sweater she had for years and years until we got her the Leon. So I'm going to say Bucky.
All right. What is it, Randy?
Bucky.
Bucky. All right. Struddy, who did you pick?
I also went with Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I also went with Bucky.
There it is.
All right.
Although you don't have
He likes
Bucky
old guys.
earrings.
No, I don't.
And you have Leon earrings,
Yeah.
which is
So I can wear the Leon
is
earrings
weird.
with the Bucky jersey.
All right. We got Brownie in the lead here, 2-1 after 3 questions. Question number 4. Pulling the curtain back a little bit here on the show. Randine, what's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to your role with Got Your Back?
I'm going to say trying to get me to tell her what's in the show. So like details about the show, because big portions of her job she cannot do, and I'm not organized enough to give her answers. So details on what's in the show.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I originally had that down, but then I put some thought into it, and
Keeping all the guys' egos at bay.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
the chat
I know what
group can
Zubie and
get,
Struds
you
are
know.
like. I understand. Yep.
Wow. That's hurtful. That hurts, Randy.
All right, who did I go
is
to
good.
first last time? Struddy, what do you got for this one?
I put dealing with a grumpy Ryan. So,
Judges? Nope. Sorry.
No. I wrote paycheck. Her pet peeve is the size of her paycheck.
Oh.
It's getting all of you donkeys paid. It's quite the chore every month, chasing you guys around. Does anybody have any points yet, Zubie?
Yeah, Brownie's winning 2-1.
2-1.
Oh, okay.
Gord Parchewski says more egos, less egos. He's referring to waffles there, I'm guessing. Question number 5. It's Friday night. There is no Oiler game on this Friday night. Which of these is the most likely scenario? We got multiple choice here. Choice number 1, date night out. Choice number 2, movie night in. Choice number 3, golf sim night. Or choice number 4, asleep before 10 p.m. Shogger, don't predict. You tell us what you think is the most likely scenario.
Yeah. Well, choice number 4 happens no matter what, so that's a definite. But there's things that can happen before that. I'm gonna say date night out. I think we make an effort on nights off to grab the odd date. I think you're gonna say that.
Good answer.
I've done my
All right. Shogger gets a point there. All right, Brownie, what did you say?
These guys underestimate me. They underestimated me. Both of them did. I can tell.
Yeah, I had movie night in. I thought you were going to have a Netflix night.
Golf sim.
All right, we still got Brownie in the lead here by a count of 2-1, and 4 questions left here. So question number 6.
Yep.
Randine, what's a movie you've watched at least 100 times?
I'm going to say Elf.
Christmas content,
there's many movies I've watched 100 times, but come on.
Oh
wow.
Jurassic Park.
Wow.
All the Jurassic.
I would not
Chris
have guessed
Pratt
that.
is her,
That's Jurassic World.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is a hall pass, I think.
I didn't see that one coming. Struddy?
Pretty Woman.
Well, that's a good one. I've watched this one 100 times, so I had Grease.
I like that.
Nice. Good guesses.
Good answer.
Yep.
Both good guesses.
Little chance you guys were going to get that one, but
yeah,
it's all right.
it's a tough one.
Well, I mean, I have met Randine once, so I should know her pretty well.
Well, you guys obviously already had to make your predictions. I think Randine might have tipped her hand on this one already with an earlier answer, but we'll see. Maybe we'll be surprised. Question number 7. Of course, we had the poll and everything, lots of discussion. But Randine, who do you think is the funniest person on the podcast?
Based on our conversation behind the scenes, and I know you said you wish that I could have Strud's witty sense of humor, but I know you also are constantly laughing at things Zubie says on the pod. So I'm going to go with a sneaky answer and say Zubie.
Wow.
She loves your wit, Zubie. You always throw little things in that she feels go unnoticed on the show.
It was a tough one. Everybody's got a great sense of humor. But the one closest to my sense of humor, the silent type but really, really quick-witted,
Brownie.
Oh my goodness.
Brownie.
Look at that.
Whoa. I'm blushing.
That's a shocker.
Wow. This is shocking.
Whoa.
not predictable.
All right, let's go to Struddy first.
No surprise.
You said
I
Struddy?
put Struddy.
Brownie, did you have yourself to take a commanding lead?
No, because I'm the one ego that she doesn't have to manage. I had Struddy too.
Oh no.
And so just to be clear about this, she has said that she prefers Struddy's sense of humor to mine. I picked Zubie's sense of humor that she would like best, and she picked Brownie. So I am the only one that has not gotten a vote for any sort of sense of humor.
Well, we heard your joke, remember? Remember with the joke you told? It
was a good joke. It was a good joke.
Why do you have
You guys
$40?
were never going to laugh.
Another guy pooped in my pants.
Ryan Vance.
It's the delivery. It's the
You gonna let him
delivery.
talk to me like this? This is your chance.
That was a bad joke.
You always say that he's so mean to me. This is your chance to stick up for me.
Ryan Van Spengen says, so everyone but Ryan?
That's a tough one.
All right, next question.
That's funny.
Keep going
Okay.
here.
It's still 2-1. We got 2 left. Okay, this is a good one. This is pretty open-ended. Question 8. What is one word, Randine, to describe Ryan's cooking?
I'm going to say, okay. I immediately thought like optimistically there, and I think I need to drop it down a notch. So I'm going to say one, and it's got to be one word. I'm going to say seldom.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Like along those lines, like not often. Non-existent.
Non-existent.
That's 2 words.
That's close.
It's actually.
It has a dash.
Is that one? Did you check? All right.
It has a dash.
But
We'll be lenient here
Didn't
if
I
we can
just
get in the
cook?
ballpark. Okay, Brownie, what did you have? Something that's close to non-existent?
I think I just cooked.
No, I had yucky.
It's like I just cooked.
Oh, you're muted,
Wait,
Struts?
skip the dishes, Subway.
Oh, I skipped in. Yeah, it was my turn and I skipped in. Sorry, Struts, go ahead.
I was trying to raise you up. I put edible. So
Oh, thanks,
Yeah,
bud.
I thought
Someone
you'd be, like-
believes in me.
Yeah, I do. I thought you'd be a guy that could just get it done, right? Like it wasn't amazing, but it was good enough. So and that's where
Yeah,
I
I
fall in
would
that
say-
category.
That encapsulates me. Not amazing, but I get the job done. There you go.
Yeah,
That's what I've
exactly.
strived to be my entire life.
Well, no, for cooking.
Is that
For
about
cooking,
right?
that's-
Sound about right?
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
right.
about right.
Cooking
All right.
too. Wow.
Yeah, cooking.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, it's 2-1, Brownie. This is the last question. Now, there will be a point awarded on this question, no matter what. So we'll see. We'll either have to go to the tie break or Brownie can take this one here in the last question. Question number 9, Randine. Discussed quite a bit here on the show. We know that the Christmas decorations go up early. They go up in November. But when do they come down? And I'm going to need you to give an exact day, and then the guys have already predicted a specific day as well, and whoever's closer will get this point. So what's the date they come down?
It's one of 2, and I just got to figure out which one you would go with, because this year was a little bit different. I'm going to say December 27th is what you will have written. By the way, they go up September 2nd.
Yeah.
Not quite, but close.
Basically. Oh,
wow.
It was just chill on Boxing Day.
No.
Wow.
You relax on Boxing Day and then do the decorations the next day.
No.
Really?
You're usually
No,
gone.
she's doing all the work there, Shogger. You're relaxing
That's
while
true.
she's taking
Yeah.
all the decorations.
He's got a bad
out.
back. Instability. in his
Okay,
back.
you go first, Charles, and then
Hang on. Andrew wants to know, did you mean January 26th? Andrew on the stream here? Are you sure?
No.
Wow.
Honestly,
Well,
it's up so early, it's got to get down. as
Like the
soon as it
next
needs to.
day.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I
This
put
is
January 31st. My bad.
January
But-
31st.
I put
Way off.
December 27.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's almost
X.
like I know her so well.
Wow.
We should do a
You
date night.
do.
Brownie nailed that? Did he got
Next-
it?
No,
next-
we're good. Close.
Next
You got a point.
non-Oiler game night, we'll have a date night. Yeah, I'll take you. You want to go out on a date night?
Did you just ask her out? What's going on?
He's funny.
Are you
That's-
two texting each other?
That's Brownie's prize for winning the game. Didn't we set the stakes at that? Whoever wins
earned
gets
it.
a date with Randine.
You earned it, Brownie.
So
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
so Brownie
Sure,
takes
it'll
it
be
by a
better
count of
than the
3-1.
I'm sure it'll be better than the mall. Mall walking is still a date night if it's just the two of you and the kids have been left at home. Mall walking qualifies.
Ooh, no.
Jeez, I don't even know where to start. I'm not very romantic, and I know that's not a date.
No, you got to go for dinner and find some live music somewhere. Come on, Shogger.
All right. That was the Zubie-Wed Game brought to you by Horizon Egg and Turf. Thanks, son. Good job.
Yeah, that was
But-
fun. Thanks, guys.
So
By
much fun. Yeah.
By the way, we had Ella on the chat here. Tell her she can come in anytime. She had lots of good stuff. She said, Ryan, don't worry, you're funny.
Aw.
And she also said she's got your back, Shogger. She also said, last meal I ate that you made was quite yum. So
Was it skip the dishes?
Cereal.
so thanks, Ella,
I
for
do my
what a
share.
very
Oh,
supportive.
sweet Ella.
I'm more like a barbecue guy in the off season, but thanks, Beansy. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thanks. We don't have any more
Thank you,
commercial breaks, so
Randy.
you just kind of have
You're
to,
the best.
like
Scooch.
slide out.
Hey, Rob, see you next Friday.
Okay. Yeah,
Right,
that's not
yeah,
happening.
can't wait.
And lose his number. Lose Brownie's number. That's not a joke. By the way, lots of people in the stream talking about me out kicking my coverage, marrying up, lots of insults towards me, but Randine will take those as compliments. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, boys. Nice work. Brownie, I think you're done. Hey, you got to boot. You got to go.
Yeah, I got to go. We're celebrating down on the street. Kate, I don't know if you guys heard the Chiefs won today.
Yeah, it's
all right, get back to it, buddy.
Get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you, pal. I don't know how to feel about most of what just happened. Okay, Zubie, lost track of things. Where are we going next, buddy? We're going to get to our, we got Ask Us Anything, or what do we got?
Yeah, well, we got Taking a Trip, Scoreboard, and Ask Us Anything, I think is what's left.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I definitely want to get to Taking a Trip. If I can find it. Sorry, I'm really rattled by that segment. So I got to find the read. There it is. All right. NHL trade deadline's coming up soon. So Struds and I are doing some deep dives on potential players that might be on the move, might be taking a trip. And that is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. If you're planning a trip, whether it's a dream vacation, a quick winter escape, or a trip to watch the Oilers play, don't forget travel insurance. Alberta Blue Cross has got your back with emergency medical care, cancellations, lost baggage, and more. Flexibility, reliability, and even lounge access or a hotel if the delay is too much. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel to learn some more. Okay, Struds, are we staying with the Sabres?
Yeah, I think let's do that. I'm no insider, but I try to read what insiders say, and there was some chatter around Dylan Cousins, a center for the Buffalo Sabres, the workhorse from Whitehorse. I love that nickname. I remember I heard it at the World Juniors. Big guy, right-handed shot, skates well, works hard. He's had some good years, he's had a good year of 70 points, 30 goals, I think almost last year or 2 years ago. But this year, he's taken it off the chin defensively. He seems to be taking on a lot of water as far as what he's able to defend. And I don't think he's a first-line center. I think he's a second-line center. That's kind of where his payment is as well, at around $7 million.
Good point.
So there's a player but he's having a tough year, and moving this player out, I think would be a big mistake. But if there was, if they're talking about moving out, I've definitely call big right shot defenseman. They can score. I think you can work with him defensively because he's had some decent years defensively. I think you can figure it out. I pulled up a trade that was similar. Kirby Dach traded from Blackhawks to Montreal, a first and a third rounder. Is it more than that? Is it less than that? I'm not sure, but I think he's had better offensive numbers than Kirby Dach, so it might be more. But I would hesitate to trade this player off my roster around the Sabres. But if he's interested in moving him, I'm calling Rishaug for sure.
6'3", 210 pounds, give or take, has 30 goal potential, has done it before. I would be really careful. The situation in Buffalo right now, Struds, lots of guys with more game than what they're showing are having wobbly seasons. And I feel like this is a point in a franchise where, they earned these players by being crappy for a long time. They earned players like Cousins, a 7th overall pick, because they went through a horrendous year and ended up with the 7th overall pick. Same thing with Owen Power. Like, you got to remember the pain that came along with getting these guys in these spots. And to be where they are and to be considering stuff like this, I would be so careful. You're the baby going out with the bathwater, man.
Yeah, I'd really hesitate to move this player. But if he is being moved, I'm calling right away, man. Like, this guy, I really like him. Again, I think there's some coaching needs to be done there. Not that suggesting Lindy isn't. But he's a player, man. I really like this player.
It's when I first heard his name, I was like, oh, I know he got paid. Like, I know he makes a lot of money, but he's 23 years of age. Like, he's 23. He's one of those guys that the team placed a bet on, right? Yeah. And we talk about it all the time. You got to place bets. So they got ahead of it. They gave him the, pretty big contract. Some maybe thought it was too much too soon, and he's stumbling a bit here. But I still think this player is going to earn this contract, Struds.
Yeah, I would make that bet, especially look at the body work before the contract and just his body, the size, the skating, right-hand shot. Like, ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah,
like a lot of boxes.
It does. All right, will Dylan Cousins be taking a trip? We're not sure. That segment brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. There was a game we were keeping a close eye on the scoreboard tonight. Let's round out the scoreboard, Struds. That'll be brought to you by Canadian Club. The all-new CC Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at 58%, their highest proof CC Classic to date. Full-bodied whiskey with aromas of caramel toffee, spicy vanilla, and rich oak with a butterscotch finish. Where did we land?
Yep, the Golden Knights beat the Panthers 4-1. So with that win, it means that the Oilers are no longer in first place in the Pacific Division. They're trailing by 1 point, I believe. Thomas Schertl gets his ninth game in a row with the points, so he's definitely rolling. So, I mean, 1 point out of first place, not the end of the world here, Rishaug, for the Oilers.
Yeah, no, they're right in the mix here. They're right in the mix. They're playing as well as anybody. They're going to compete for this division. Home ice advantage, man. That'd be something for them to, to carry all the way through. And really, they're right in the mix for the conference. Like they have a real chance here to do themselves a big favor if they go on a deep playoff run. As we talked about before, Avs over the Rangers 5-4. Sens beat Utah 3-1. 5-2 Jets over the Calgary Flames. And the Wild with a 4-2 win over the Chicago Blackhawks. That is your scoreboard, brought to you by Canadian Club. All right, Zubie, why don't you hop on in here, my friend? Saw a few questions that were fired Randine's way. She's gone now, but if you want to throw those in, I'll do my best to answer on her behalf. Time for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Whether you're looking to lower your monthly payment, shorten your loan term, or want to understand your options, Maria Gallus with Maximal Mortgages has got you covered. If you're renewing, refinancing, or purchasing a new home, investment property, contact Mortgages by Maria.ca. Maria Gallus with Maximal Mortgages. Can't wait for your missus to join us on the Zubie-Wed Game, Zubie.
Oh, yeah. She'll have catching up to. I don't think she's watched much of the show other than a couple of Struddy's World. So I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Struds has the wives market cornered.
Yes,
Big fan.
I think there was the night of the tomato soup Struddy's World, and Steve was doing the show, and Melissa and I were sitting here in the theater room watching it on the big screen, and I mean, both of us were just peeing our pants. We were laughing so hard, and so she's a big fan.
It's a toughie.
Yeah. Okay, we had some good stuff. Busy stream tonight. Non-game night. Glad to see so many people here. Where do I want to begin? There's lots of kind of trade talk and speculation, so you guys can tell me where you want to go with this. Machine Gun Yanmark says, do you think Jeff Skinner would be a fit maybe for Boston? They have lots of good middle to top six players. They could use some scoring. It's pretty quiet around Skinner, so he feels like something is up. Could Boston possibly be a trade partner for them on the Skinner front, Struddy?
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Like, I don't know how many naturally gifted goal scorers they possess on that lineup. I think there's a lot of hard workers. Like Charlie Cole, not to pick on him, but I think he's a really hard worker that works hard for his goals. And he has some nice ones. I don't think he can just create easier goals like Skinner could. It's a playoff team, or I would suspect it will become will be a playoff team. But you know what, Shugger, that actually is a pretty damn good one. I might have to start using that one. Machine Gun Yanmark.
I don't know about that. I mean,
they aren't scoring much.
Poitras is in their top. I know they're not, but he's not scoring much either.
But no opportunity, right? Not a lot of opportunity.
What do the scouting reports say? I mean, what do the scouting reports say? Like, if you're a scout that's been watching Jeff Skinner and it's your job to report back to the Boston Bruins on whether this player can come in and help you and help you score goals. And yes, this is the ingredient, especially if you're considering yourself a playoff team. I mean, man, we've been talking about Trent Frederick getting traded. Can you imagine Skinner in and Frederick out? Like, yeah, I'm not necessarily buying it quite as much, but not a terrible suggestion.
Sticking with the Bruins here for a second, Magoo 478 says, just got in here, not sure if it was asked, but what did you guys think about what Marchand did to Cousins? Did you guys see? That was a couple nights ago. I meant to bring it up actually, when he basically with his bare hand put it on his throat as they were kind of dusting up close to the bench. Did you guys see that? And what do you I don't think it was addressed in any way, but I was very surprised. It didn't have a great look.
To be fair, I missed that one, guys. I didn't see it. So you're saying that with his bare hand, he tried to choke him?
Pretty much. I mean, for briefly, but it wasn't up for debate what he did. He grabbed him by the throat. They were right by the benches with his bare hand.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to take a look at it as we I'm just seeing a replay right now. Yeah, so he kind of skates over Struddy. They get chirping, the two of them. Oh, yeah, that's no good. So Marchand actually skated over there with both of his gloves on.
Right.
They got chatting. He did this, pulled his hand out of his glove, and just reached right up and grabbed him by the throat like this. Like he literally just grabbed him like that. Yeah, not a great look for sure. The linesman got in there super fast. So it's like, how long is it there for? It's there for a second and a half. And then he grabbed his sweater. Cousins is kind of saying, what is that? Yeah, no good. I'd probably be fining a guy for that. That's like a straight up chokehold. Adam's apple chokehold. I don't know how hard he grabbed him, but don't love that.
No, I hear you.
Okay, we got a little bit of Oilers content here. Penner's Pancakes says, at the upcoming Oilers skills competition, can they have an empty net challenge? Seriously, Leon could shoot that 1,000 times and not miss again. They're legit cursed with the empty net. Does that matter? Are you worried that's going to bite them when it's not, when they get a little... The
only way it's going to bite them is if, Leon Draisaitl and, are we in a 60 goal chase here? Are we in a, what does it look like? What is if he finishes at 59, then we'll go back and look at that one and kind of go, ew, that was tough. But no, I don't think it's a big deal in game.
I don't either. I mean, if they can score empty net goals but score every other way, I'm like, okay, I can live with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this is a pretty big discussion, but there's lots of talk about Bouchard and what the extension's going to be, or if it's going to be. And let me just see where there were a couple people that went kind of made some broad statements, and let me see if I can find them from my starting over at 61 said anything over $6 million for Bouch terrifies me. Aaron St. Pierre said at 10 million we let Bouchard go. Shane Matheson said every team in the league would take Bouchard for 8 to 10 million, not even a question. Is that? Oh, someone else made a suggestion. Maybe Bouchard. I don't know if he's got 1 year left where he would still be restricted. Somebody said, what about him signing a one more year? I don't know if I don't know the number on that. If he'd be unrestricted after that, is that on the table, or is this still 8 to 10 all day long, Struddy?
Well, I'd say I'm not sure exactly when he'd become unrestricted, but the idea of walking someone to unrestricted free agency doesn't really. I don't like that because he can have a massive year and inflates that. Now you got no Evan Bouchard. So I would still try to get a contract done. I think that his year here has maybe given pause to both sides to figure out what that longer term deal looks like and what the number is. But he's a pretty important part of this Oilers club, guys. And there's a higher level of play from him than we've seen through most of this year.
Yeah. So this is where I'm at. Unrestricted, by the way, in 2027, 28. So if Evan Bouchard has a playoff this year like he had last year, he will be north of 10 million on a new deal. If Evan Bouchard has a good playoff but doesn't push similar numbers and let's say his playoff is more reflective of his regular season, then I think he'll be just north of $9 million. So to me, this is a 9 and change contract, or it's a 10+ contract, just depending on what the Oilers do, depending on what Evan Bouchard does. It's a decision that the Oilers got to make. My guess is they lean into it. They bite the bullet because this is a heck of a good player and tough to let him go. But he's not signing for less than $9 million, Struds. I don't think it matters what happens from now to the end of the regular season. I don't think he's signing for less than $9 million.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And honestly, that seems to be the number that it's going around for these guys.
Yeah.
Obelisk 21 made an interesting point about with Rantanen being traded. He says, in his opinion, makes Leon's pursuit of the Hart Trophy stronger with McKinnon losing his winger. But could you also make the case that if McKinnon's game turns up without Rantanen, that would help McKinnon's Hart Trophy case? I know it's just a piece of metal. It's an individual award, but what do you guys think? How does that trade shake up the Hart Trophy race?
Well, and as interestingly, Struds, do you see Nate McKinnon's points per game going down without Mikko Rantanen now? Draisaitl slightly better points per game, although I haven't checked after tonight. But do you see a change there? Can McKinnon keep going at this pace without his guy?
To be honest, I hadn't even considered what the implications might be for the art or for that trophy, right? The Hart Trophy. I believe that he has to soften his chances because you're losing such a good running mate. And again, no disrespect to the guys they traded for, but Mikko's one of the top 6-7 players in the NHL. And that he helps facilitate the game for Nathan. Not that he needs help, but it is nice to have someone who thinks the game that fast and plays that well. So I haven't even thought about, but this is a really good point. And yes, I do think it softens it. Doesn't mean he's going to lose it, but it softens it for Nathan MacKinnon for sure.
Both guys at 1.51 points per game, says Obelisk 21 updating tonight. So thank you.
Interesting thought here from CK Pond, stirring the pot. Will Toronto trade Mitch Marner just in case, or lose him for nothing? Does this Rantanen trade have a ripple effect? No, to make other teams think about that. Oh gosh, you know what? Maybe we should be. You love to talk.
I don't see it, Struds. I don't see it. Do you, Struds?
They're having a really good year, right? They're top of their division, I think. Last time I looked. They think that they've got a good team. I think there's some holes in their team they need to address, but they've got a good team. And I just have a hard time seeing Mitch Marner not sign with that team, with his home team,
or wanting to go because he's got the no move too, right? So
yeah, I just think I think they'll get it all done there. But I mean, you trade Mikko Rantanen. I can't get over it. It's like someone going to wake me up and say it's a joke because he's such a good player. I just can't tell you how good of a player this guy is.
You're disappointed. You love that player. Like he's been at
Mikko.
the top of your list for a long time, and now you get to see him less than ever before.
Yeah, he's so good.
Zuby, go two more.
Last real question here, and then we got some fun comments to get to regarding the Zubie-Wed game. So Paulie gets in here late and says, do you think Sid remains a lifelong Pen? What's your opinion of Sidney Crosby? Could he be taking a trip this year? Is it actually on the table, Struddy?
Well, Shog, you're probably looking up that tweet from Chris Johnson, one of the insiders, and he can get to that. But I think Mario stayed there for his whole career. Now, a little bit different circumstances. I believe Sid will as well. I think Sid sees himself as a Pen.
Yeah. If there was ever a year where you were going to go, it potentially would be a year like this. Chris Johnston, one of our insiders at TSN and The Athletic as well. Unless something changes at this point, I have absolutely zero reason to believe it will. Sidney Crosby isn't being traded out of Pittsburgh. He is an untouchable as far as the Pens are concerned. Plus, he's got a no movement clause and has no desire to be dealt. So unless that has changed behind the scenes and we don't know about it, I think it's highly doubtful. It feels to me like he's going wire to wire unless something changes last minute.
Okay. Let's get to, we had a couple of fun comments here from regarding some of the stuff we talked about on the Zubie-Wed game. Shane Matheson said buying out is cooking. So he's advocating that if you do DoorDash,
100%.
That counts.
Shane, you and me, buddy. You and me.
Davin giving you some flowers. He says Ryan Cook's on the show.
Oh, that's nice.
Starting over at 61 says next show's lead sponsor will be a divorce attorney. Well,
there will be discussion after this show. I can confirm there will be a few things that need some clarification.
Throw some feelers out. The Juice wants to know: is your back good enough to do the mall walker? Do you ride one of the stuffed animal scooters?
No.
Wow, she was like, yeah. We did a 16-hour day at Disney World or Disneyland. We went there on one of the days of the year where it's open 24 hours. And because Randine's a Disney nut, and there was talk after hour 7 of me potentially grabbing one of the wheelchairs because I was done. And Randine did point out that we probably would end up on more rides if I were to do that. And I ended up not, but there was discussion.
And Pedro says, didn't Rishaug almost burn down his house barbecuing once? Is there a story? Where did he... So that's your...
Yeah, I had the slow cooker going. I had the Traeger going, and some wings went sideways on me. Full flameage, on fire, flames like 10 feet high, And and it ended up on Facebook, which is another bone of contention I had with Randine after. But yeah, it's somewhere on our Facebook.
In a slow cooker, you got a flame going?
Like a Traeger.
Jeez.
I found a way, boys. I found a way.
Crazy.
All right. Well, on that note, why don't we wrap up the poll here?
Yeah, let's do it.
That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria, by the way. And thanks for contributing, everybody. And this is wrapping up our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. The question tonight was, who should come out of the lineup for Connor McDavid? And it wasn't as big of a runaway as you might think. Jeff Skinner got 47% of the vote. Noah Philp, 23% of the vote. Other got 19%. And Kasperi Kapanen, 9%. So a couple of the write-ins. There was some Janmark talk, some Connor Brown. A few people saying Connor Brown. Although it was pointed out on that front, both Brown and Janmark are on the PK. So that seemed like maybe the kibosh on that. So those were kind of some of the only write-ins that we got. So those were the couple of names I saw.
All right. Love it. We will see tomorrow. I'll be down at Morning Skate tomorrow. A couple of questions heading into practice tomorrow. What does the lineup look like? And are they ready for John Klingberg to step in? Chris Knobloch last Monday, I believe, maybe Tuesday, said he thought it would be a week. And so we're getting in and around that range. So is it the Kraken? Is it the Detroit Red Wings? Chances are we'll see him this week. And it's going to be fascinating. And we'll drop podcasts all the way through. All right, let's wrap the show with our Gallery Dental play of the day. Take the first step towards a stress-free dental experience, providing modern dentistry for today's patient with the most up-to-date dentistry, sedation, implants, and so much more. Contact gallerydentalYEG.com. Strudde?
Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns, leads his Eagles to the Super Bowl, former New York Giant. So I wish him good luck. He had a great day today. Let's all cheer for the Eagles so that Brownie has a bad day in 2 weeks.
That's bad karma. That's bad karma for your team, Struds, right there.
I know, it is. I know, but let's just hope for it anyways.
How many times in the last, how many times did Saquon break a 60-plus yarder on his first touch of the game this year, including playoffs? It's crazy.
He's an incredible athlete. He's an incredible athlete. Like, he's so good. So good.
Yeah, amazing season for him.
All right. Thanks, boys. Nice job tonight. Zubie, nice job on the game.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was fun. Glad to do it. Glad to have Randine. We will keep casting a wide net with our contestants. We'll see who else we can get.
Showing up next?
Oh, absolutely.
You trust her?
That'd be great.
You trust her to get on the mic?
Yeah, no, she's not trusted at all. She'd be a lot louder than Randine. She's not coming on.
For real? You're calling it. She phoned in the one time. We got to get her on camera.
No, she abuses too much. Too much.
All right. So book it. Next Zubie-Wed game. We'll get on that. Good job tonight, guys. Thank you.
Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us on the live stream. Ended up with a great audience on a Sunday night non-game night. So thanks for all of your contributions, your downloads, your subscriptions. Throw us a quick like on the way out the door if you don't mind. Oilers in action against the Seattle Kraken tomorrow. We'll drop a post-game pod. Then I think we're going to go Wednesday, Thursday coming up this week. So lots of Got Your Back coming up in the days ahead. We'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks to Play Alberta, our title sponsor. See ya.